Hello and welcome to my ride. Today I'm going to show you how I'm planning my motorcycle tours to find the best and most secret spots on the street. First of all, we have to pick our destination. So the first question is where to go. But there is one question we have to answer in advance. How long do we have time for our tour? If you only have a few days, that will impact your range and how many stops you can plan to make along the way. For long trips, you have a little more flexibility depending on your preferences. Do you want to get to your destination quickly and stay a while, or take your time getting there with overnight stops along the way? We are planning a 10-day tour through Italy. Our starting point is the country where I live in, Austria. But before we start, give the video a thumbs up, and if you enjoy the videos on this channel, please subscribe. This would help the channel really much and would be massively appreciated. First of all, we have to think about how we get there. There are two options for a 10-day trip. The first one is to ride to Italy on the highway. Because when we would ride both ways on beautiful roads, that would take more than 10 days. Another option is to take the car and motorcycle train. So when I have the decision between an overnight train ride for €100 or 110 USD or an 8-hour highway ride, I would always pick the first one. That's where another factor comes into play. Plan your trips 6 months in advance when you want to use transportation like the train. When you book that early, it is almost 50% off the usual rate. And the train tickets are pretty popular, so you won't get them anymore when you try to book in a short time before the trip. So the best connection to go by the train is to Livorno, which is our starting point in Italy. Now we should check the map and look around which cities are around or if there are some popular sites you want to see. In our case, directly around us is the beautiful city of Florence. Another tip is to take a look at motorcycle forums or Facebook groups and look for your desired destination and pick up some travel tips over there. After Florence, my next desired destination would be the beautiful and famous city of Venice. And no, I don't talk about Venice Beach in the United States. Venice is a famous city in northeastern Italy and the capital of the Veneto region. It is built on a group of 118 small islands that are separated by canals and linked by over 400 bridges. But when you look at the map, there is also another beautiful city on the way, Bologna. In Bologna, you can see a few beautiful sites like the Basilica. And when you're not into cultural stuff, then close to Bologna you can find the Formula 1 circuit Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari. The next stop I wanted to include in my tour is the Wörthersee in Felden, where some famous Austrian parties take place like Fête Blanche. But when I take a look at the map, there is also another interesting spot on the way. The big mountain in Slovakia, the Mongard, with its height of 2,800 meters. When you check out local forums, as I mentioned, you will also find that there is a secret viewpoint when you leave the main road and take a 5-minute walk. So we also set this onto our bucket list. After Felden, we will go back to Vienna, which is our final destination. Now we take our waypoints and put them into a navigation application. When you're watching my videos on a regular basis, maybe then you know that I'm using the application Calimoto, which is €50 or 50 USD a year. Just put into those waypoints and tell the program which kind of route you want to take. Do you want to take some parts of the road in faster pace? Then take the highway option. When you want to find the curviest roads out there, then take the super curvy option. If you don't want to use Calimoto, then there's also some other route planning programs out there like Curviger, Rever, or even Google Maps. When you've done that, you'll get a detailed route from the program, but there's one more important step to do. I personally go to Google Street View and check every road I'm riding on. This can prevent you from riding on the worst roads you'll find all over the world. And I know what I'm talking about. Last year, I trusted the application without reviewing the route, and the application told us to ride on a route that should take 1 hour. But the road was in such a bad condition that the ride took 5 hours and was a real pain. Another benefit from this method is that you can see how wide the road actually is. Because in some countries they are really narrow and it's not really enjoyable to ride a long distance on such roads. Because it requires really much attention all the time, which leads to you getting tired really fast. So these are my favorite tips for planning a motorcycle trip. Now tell me where your next touring destination is and write it down in the comments below. I hope I'll see you again next Sunday. Stay safe, ride your ride, goodbye.